That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to episode 50 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. I'm Adam, and I'm joined by Sam.
Hi.
By John.
Happy birthday. Does this count as a birthday?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Not really. And Brett is here.
Hello, we're getting swifty at 50.
Oh, nice.
And this is episode 50!
Yay!
Yay!
Did you guys ever expect us to get this far?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
I think most pods fail within 10 episodes. I've just made that up.
Yeah, but we failed in 5 and then just kept going. That's our beauty.
That is very true. 50 episodes, which we worked out the other day, means that you could sit and listen to Hardest Part of the Ring for 2 solid days.
Wow. And we will not stop until Gold Dust retires.
So that might be quite soon.
No.
So I wouldn't say that. So episode 50, thank you very much for everybody who's been along with us for the whole ride. If you just joined us, then hello to you. Do go back and listen for 2 solid days. We're going to do something cool. We're going to talk about our top 50 favourite wrestlers in a minute. But before that, we're going to be a bit self-indulgent and talk about a few highlights from the pod. 50 episodes, as we said. Favourite episode, guys? Can you think of one? Brett, have you got a favourite episode we've done?
Oh, I would say episode 49. It's the one I can remember.
Classic. That is very on brand. Memory man.
Yeah.
John?
Good episode. I really like the top 5 wrestlers to survive apocalypse.
You bitch.
Yes.
You stole mine.
Yeah,
one.
that's mine. That's on my list as well. I also had the Hell in a Cell 2018, which was not that long ago, because I just felt that was a really funny one. Sam, you had the top 5?
I had top 5 Apocalypse. I like top 5 entrance music.
Oh, yeah. That was
It's an old school.
The All-In one was
Yeah.
great. And also, I really enjoyed the WrestleMania... Was it 6? Or, what do you know? Was it 6 we did recently? 8.
Rewind episode.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
I love
good.
the rewind episodes.
I love the idea. It's not actually a rewind episode. We've just been doing this podcast for a really long time over a very long period.
Before podcasts were
Started with
invented.
tapes.
Yeah.
Moved on to mini disc players and now podcasts.
And speaking of All In is probably one of the best pay-per-views we've reviewed. We've done, I don't know, we must have done at least 30 pay-per-views, something like that, or 25. I'd say All In, maybe Evolution's the best. Think of any others?
Yeah, Evolution.
Yeah, I think Evolution's probably the best one.
Yeah. Okay, and what do you reckon you've learnt? Anything important? Anything that's improved your life, changed your life, made your life worse?
It's been great meeting fans and other wrestling fans at wrestling events like Ripside.
Yeah.
That's been cool.
Yeah, being a bit more social.
Yeah.
I feel like the lesson is the friends we learnt along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Does that work?
The friends we learn.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
I've learned
We'll
a lot
work
of
with
friends.
that.
And then the last question I had, because I love to prepare, is as it's episode number 50, tell me, Sam, you can tell me first, who's your favourite 50-year-old?
Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, that was my one, you bastard. I was desperately Googling just before we started recording. I was like, crap, I haven't done a 50-year-old one. Need someone.
Brett, have you got a favourite 50-year-old?
So, this is something else I had to do homework on, like John. I was like, who's 50? And I found out I've got 2 favourites. Can I have 2 favourites?
Yeah.
Gillian Anderson is 50.
Very nice.
She's awesome, obviously.
That's mad.
X-Files is awesome.
She won like FHM Sexiest Woman. Like, it didn't feel like that long ago. Sexiest Woman in the world. Gillian Anderson, X-Files.
Scully.
Scully?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing a wrestling pod. Okay, sorry.
No, I'm just fan 50-year-olds.
Oh,
It's just any 50-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kylie. I didn't know.
Yeah, Kylie's on there.
And then the other is Molly Ringwald, because, thank you for the Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles.
Oh,
I'm a big fan.
Okay, nice. I went for two huge musical influences on me. I went for Tom York from Radiohead and Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Smith is 50. Wow.
And then did you also notice that Kurt Angle turns 50 in December?
That's amazing.
Yes.
God,
I
he
did
looks
see that.
terrible for 49, doesn't he?
And no one
Jesus.
said Brett was their favourite 50-year-old.
Oi.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so there you go. Was that a good segment? Who bloody knows? But that's the kind of thing we do here on Hardest Part of the Ring. Off the back of that, I thought I'd do something a bit different before we start. We usually leave this till the end of the pod, but because we've provided you with over 50 hours of free, I was going to say entertaining content, but we'll just say content.
And we said we're sorry.
Yeah. No, we would love it, absolutely love it, Kevin Keegan style, if you would give us a review. Drop us a rating or subscribe to us on iTunes, preferably. But if you don't have iTunes or you hate Apple or whatever, then wherever you like, even if you just scroll it on a wall somewhere.
If you could give
we'd
us
appreciate
50
it.
stars, one for each episode,
Oh, yeah.
that's
please
how
do.
this works.
Please. But yeah, apparently, as you've heard on every other podcast you listen to, that really helps us get discovered by other listeners. So please do that. And if you send us a screenshot of your review, we will send you some free stickers as well. So there's always that incentive.
Boom.
Yeah, do it. Right. Should we get onto the main subject?
Yeah.
Let's 50.
Let's do it. Hardest Part of the Ring 50. Our top 50 favourite wrestlers after this.
Oh, face first into the apron of the ring. There's very little padding there. A dangerous area. It's not wrestler friendly, I can tell you.
Top 50 favourite wrestlers in the world right now. That is the list that we're going to collate. We're going to put together 50 of them because it's our 50th episode. And the key thing here is that we are talking about our 50 favourites. We're not ordering the best wrestlers, the most successful, anything like that, just our favourites. And a lot of you have got involved in this, and we're going to talk about that towards the end of the podcast. We've got a listeners list, which we have compiled, so we've got that to look forward to. But firstly, we are going to run down our 50. Obviously, we don't have time to go through absolutely everyone individually because we probably provide you with another 50 hours of content. I don't think anybody wants that. So we're going to run through them fairly swiftly at the start, pick out one or two to talk about in more detail. And then when we get towards the business end, the top 10, we will talk about each individual wrestler and just talk about why we love them so much. So each of us, just to explain, put together a list of 50 and then we collated it, worked out the hardest part of the ring 50. And here we are.
We love a spreadsheet. We love it.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's only a matter of time until we do a spin-off podcast about wrestling admin.
Oh, the formulas.
Can we just say 3/4 of the pod love spreadsheets?
Oh, Brett.
Oh, Brett. come
Loser.
on.
Yeah,
God.
there is one that hates admin.
You come to the party and you hate the spreadsheet, honestly.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, that just means you guys get more fun doing the spreadsheets yourself.
Do you know what? We get 25% more spreadsheet, and I couldn't
Exactly.
do that without.
Yeah,
I like to give.
that sounds about right. One thing I didn't say, which is quite important, is that this list is made up of men, women, and tag teams, and they have to be active wrestlers. So it's current wrestlers. It doesn't matter if they're off injured.
Apart from one who might not wrestle ever again, but we'll come to that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't. I'm already crying.
Yes. Before we start, we thought we'd just list a couple of the wrestlers who weren't lucky enough to make the cut. I know they're all going to be listening eagerly, hoping that they made it into the top 50. But there's a few big names that didn't make it. The first one, and in fact, the wrestler that came in at number 51 was Sami Zayn.
The bridesmaid.
Harsh.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Harsh.
Daniel Bryan didn't make the list.
I wonder if this was after the Survivor Series, what he would have done.
I think
Yeah.
he possibly would have done, but hey.
I mean, to confirm, listeners, this is after Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah,
We're not
but,
in
you
some
know.
weird vortex. But we did these lists. We did these lists before Survivor Series because we had a lot of admin to do. Sam, don't get emotional. Goldust didn't make the list.
A terrible decision.
I think you're the only one who
A travesty.
voted for him. If you did, I can't remember. Sasha Banks didn't make it.
I think that's a travesty. I think she's one of the best on the roster.
Yeah.
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 And lastly, a guy who we've talked about a lot recently because he just hasn't been giving us what we know he can. Samoa Joe didn't make it.
Can I add one more to this as well?
Yeah?
He deserves better, but not good enough. Rusev did not make the list.
Oh,
God,
yeah,
of
Rusev.
course.
Can I add one more actually quickly?
Yeah, let's have another 50.
Tanahashi, like one of the all-time greats.
Go
Still great
Ace.
now. Didn't make the list.
Yeah, had a good year as well.
We've just turned off all of our indie audience, which is basically everyone.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're supposed to
guys.
keep that quiet.
Whoops.
Damn. Okay, so we're going to do the top 50. We're going to do 50 down to 41. But before that, we're going to go over to Statman Sam. Sam, have you got any interesting stats for us?
There are 556 and a half years experience in this top 50.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is
a lot.
a lot.
Considering how young some of these people are.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is half a millennium.
Very nice. Okay, let's do it then. 50, Penta L0. 49, Millie McKenzie, who is the youngest on the list. Right, Sam? I saw you.
That's
added
right,
that stat.
18 years old.
Just
Millie
18
McKenzie,
years
the
old.
youngest wrestler.
I feel like she's been 18 for a couple of years now, though. Is it kayfabe 18? I mean,
Maybe.
48, Travis Banks. 47, Shayna Baszler. 46, Braun Strowman. OMG.
disappointed.
45, Trent Seven. 44, Cody Rhodes. 43, Chris Jericho. And then at 42, we've got Spike Trevay. And actually, we're going to have a little pause because I'm going to talk a little bit about Spike. Because we have to, basically. He was a guest back on episode 20. We had a two-parter, an interview with him, which was absolutely brilliant. We learned a huge amount about him and his process and how his character came about. He's someone that we've been lucky enough to see a lot of down at Riptide. Easily one of the best heels working in the country at the moment.
The top heel
list.
in Riptide by a long shot.
In Riptide, but definitely, he's doing a brilliant job
UK,
everywhere he's working. He's just got this ability to be really intimidating and really vindictive in one match, and then like some of the other matches I've seen in other promotions, really charming and hilarious. And he does comedy matches, he's done death matches, and he's just developed loads over the last year. So yeah, Spike is definitely one of our favourites. In terms of matches to recommend, because we're gonna try and do that with a lot of these key people. Obviously, the final of the Riptide Championship versus Chuck Mambo is worth a look. He had a no DQ match against Drew Parker at Progress Live at the Dome in March this year, which went well. It was a big deal on social media because it's when he got the bit of mirror stuck in his leg.
Oh God!
And then it's not a match. It's not a match, but it's definitely worth tracking down that entrance video where he dresses Theresa May and came out to Dancing Queen.
Can we also point out any Jack Sexsmith match? Watch that. Spike will probably rock up and drop it.
Yeah, very true. So that's Spike Trevay at 42. At 41, Toru Yano.
Yay!
Yeah.
And that's the first 10.
So there's some big names in that first 10.
There are. Chris Jericho, quite
Cody
low,
Rhodes.
I think, probably.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that Shayna Baszler has made the top 50, but I'm happy for her. I think she deserves it.
She's had a stellar last 12 months. I feel like she's come a long, long way.
Really has.
She is
that match
very
at
good.
Evolution was fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, going into the next 10 from 40 to 31. At number 40, John's favourite, Alexa... Well, sorry, not quite your favourite because we're not talking about...
Mickey James.
Mickey James.
She's not important.
Yeah, dreadful. Number 40 is Alexa Bliss.
Ooh. She's a slow couple of 6 months, I'd say, actually.
Yeah.
But blistering hot up till then. One of the best call-ups from NXT.
Sam,
of all time, yeah.
blistering hot. That is very good.
Yeah, that was good.
Didn't even mean it, did you?
Channeling Ronaldo there.
Yeah. 39, Kairi Sane. 38, Hiromu Takahashi.
It wouldn't be a podcast without you getting a Japanese name wrong.
This is nice because we've got 4 Japanese wrestlers in a row. So, as I said,
Yeah, we do.
39, Kairi Sane. 38, Hiromu Takahashi. 37, Maiko Satomura. And 36, Tomohiro Ishii.
I love Ishii.
Yeah.
Ishii is
all,
great.
all of them are great.
Ishii, one of the most experienced people on our list.
Ooh.
Stats.
Stats.
Satomura is another one who I think, we're just in the position where we haven't been able to see a huge amount of her matches. But if we had, I reckon she would have been a lot higher.
Yeah.
At one
brilliant.
point, she had a tag team with Minoru Suzuki.
Oof.
Just take a second to think about that.
I can't. I'll crumble and I won't be able to pod. At At number 35, Keith Lee. And John, you wanted to talk a bit about him.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few things in wrestling as wonderful as a big guy that can move. And Keith Lee can move. He's 6'6", 320 pounds, one of the most athletic performers you ever see. He's got a killer double chop.
Yes.
Former PWG champion. He's wrestled for Evolve, PWG, Progress, and Rev Pro. In fact, I was at his last Rev Pro match against Ishii.
Yes,
at
that
York
was
Hall.
epic.
Yeah, and it was incredible. It was 25 minutes of massive walls of meat slamming into each other. And at one point, Ishii actually suplexed Lee, which was
He did.
one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life.
Fun fact.
Oh, yeah, I've got a fun
Yeah.
fact as well.
Oh, okay. Keith Lee is the second tallest and second heaviest man on the list, just behind Braun Strowman.
Wow. That is a good fact. My one is he got into wrestling because his nan used to watch it, which I think is lovely.
That's an even better stat.
Yeah.
That is
is lovely.
fun.
If you want to check out some matches, I definitely recommend his Ishii matches. I think there's 2, maybe 3, definitely 2 for Rev Pro. He also had some killer matches against Matt Riddle at Evolve and PWG. And there's a really good intergender match against Kimberly for Beyond Wrestling, which is on YouTube, which is worth checking out as well.
Oh, that sounds good. I haven't seen that.
Fantastic.
Nice. Good one. And obviously, you know, we're thinking if this goes down well, we may well do another top 50 next year. And it'd be interesting to see if he goes up, down, or what happens now he's in NXT.
NXT. He's one of those people you think he could go quite far because he's big, he's charismatic.
Yeah.
We are basking in his glory.
We very much are.
Yeah,
We
I
are.
think some of these people's positions is definitely based on them having been a bit missing from our TV screens.
Yeah.
Like I think Keith Lee, because he's had a little bit of a break from signing up to NXT and stuff. You know, if he'd have been more into his NXT run, he might have been higher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, we'll find out. There are a lot of people who probably could have done a lot better and a lot of people who have done very well because they're on such a hot streak.
Yes.
But yeah, what can we do? That's just the way it's worked out.
Exactly.
Number 34, Ricochet. At 33, The Miz.
Only.
At 32, Finn Balor. So that's 3 very good wrestlers in a row. And at 31,
Awesome.
another one of my favourites, but more importantly, one of Brett's favourites. He's going to talk about him now. It's Mark Haskins.
Mark Haskins, probably British wrestling's most underrated performer at the moment. We're seeing all these people get called up to, you know, NXT and on World of Sport and stuff, and he's still rocking on the independent scene. So I'm a huge fan of Mark Haskins. There is, even including people like Minoru Suzuki, there is not someone I've seen wrestle live who is more intense when they, like, as soon as they walk out and they enter that ring and they pace, like, he is just full of energy.
Definitely.
And aggression. He's been unfortunate because he's suffered in his career a few big injuries at times when probably he was ready to go on to do big things. Back, he had a stint in TNA in 2011, 2012, and he suffered a concussion and a neck injury from doing a shooting star press. So unfortunately that kept him sidelined for months, which led to that contract not being renewed, which is, you know, incredibly unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then
Doesn't
again,
sound like
during his
TNA.
Progress title reign, you know, he had to vacate his championship and take months out again because of more injury. I think
That
it
was
was his
awful.
neck again.
Yeah. He literally only defended that title once or twice or something, hadn't he? And it was such a big build and he was such a big fan favourite. It was brilliant when he won it. And then for him to have to hand it over, it was awful.
Just behind the curtain, Brett, where did he come in your personal top 50?
On my personal top 50, he came... you're making me remember now.
Brett doesn't remember stuff.
I
Come
don't
on.
remember.
Do you want me to remind
Number
you?
one.
Number
He came
one.
first.
He's top of your list.
You can't remember your
you
own
put Mark
number one.
Haskins at number 1.
Yeah, I seriously, like...
Oh my god.
Seeing that guy. So, you know, I first saw Mark Haskins wrestle live at Premier Promotions, a little half-term school kids like promotion, proper old school wrestling in Worthing, and it was just immense. Like he gave the intensity and a great match at that event, just like he does at Progress, just like he did at Wembley. Like, there is no middle ground for Mark Haskins. He just goes for it.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
yeah, I'm a massive fan.
Sam,
Massive
did you
fan.
have Haskins in your list?
Nope.
No, me neither.
No, have either of you guys seen at Wembley?
I've
think that's
seen
the only
one
time.
Mark Haskins match,
Yeah,
but that's
But,
going to change. I'm going to watch
it is because Sam. So I'm going to recommend a couple of matches here.
more. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
And one, Chapter 32 Progress for the Smash Wrestling Championship. Mark Haskins
yes.
takes on Johnny Gargano.
Oh, baby.
Ooh.
Yes, and
I'd forgotten about that match. That was so
Yeah.
good.
it was so good. I mean, talk about two, probably complete wrestlers, with the technical, the striking, amazing transitions, like great combinations. That is well worth a watch. And then a much more recent match that I've only just caught up on, and it was only going to be great, was Haskins versus Walter at Progress Chapter 78.
Oh, that's the latest one, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is just like amazing. They make it work. The size difference doesn't matter. Walter, looks great and is awesome, but Haskins gives one hell of a fight.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, and I'm very excited to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah, I love him. I think he's had a bit of a weird booking. The last sort of 6 months to a year on Progress has been odd, but he still gives it his all in every match. So.
I think it's unfortunate for him because it's gone. The way it goes is like his time has moved on with a lot of the roster and stuff in Progress, and people like Walter obviously coming on the scene and stuff. So it's like once he's fit again, his position is all a bit like, where do I come in? But it feels like they're building him up again.
Good.
Yeah.
Good
Stuff. That is number 40 to 31. So now we're going to get into the next 10, 30 to 21. Probably giving too much information on the numbers there, but we love stats. We love admin.
Hey, that's what editing's for.
Yeah. We're going to keep all this in. At number 30, the Young Bucks.
The lowest rated tag team on the list.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Mad.
do you want to know an amazing stat about the Young Bucks?
Of course.
Yeah.
Out of all of our listener entries of top 10s, the Young Bucks did not feature on a single entry.
Wow, really? That's interesting.
That is amazing.
Not a single time did they appear, but we love the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of revolutionising wrestling in many ways.
They weren't in my top 50 at all, were they? Which is probably why they've come so low. So when you say we, think about it.
The
Adam's
royal
secret
we.
hater.
I must admit, I'm not a huge fan. It's I can see they're great, but I some of the stuff that their critics say, I kind of agree with.
Oh yeah, Adam's there saying Spotfest.
The thing with the Bucks, and we've discussed this before, is the fact that it feels, pardon the pun, quite elitist in that if you watch it, you feel like you're part of the clique, you're enjoying it, and you're into it. And if you're not, you just feel like it's a bit like the cool crowd and you feel left out, Adam.
That's what it is. Everyone said they were the best, they were absolutely incredible. And so I watched them going, come on then, show me. And then I was probably a bit like, oh, well, yeah, I don't even like that. Even though
Yeah, whatever.
I know it's...
But 2019 is coming and we are going to make you watch the Bucks until you love them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. So that was number 30. At 29 in the list, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
Someone
deserves
who's
a
gonna-
shout.
Yeah, go on then, shout him.
Just quickly, he deserves a shout for probably putting on the best matches I've seen live ever.
I would definitely agree with that.
Definitely a contender, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing talent.
Yes, so
Yeah.
consistent.
28, Minoru Suzuki. And we cannot just skip past this one. So Sam, you're a fan, right?
I am probably Minoru Suzuki's biggest fan. I'm not sure. I love Minoru Suzuki. He is an old school heel in every sense of the word. And every single match he puts on, he brings his fucking A game to. He is a fantastic technical wrestler who has had some incredible matches in a 30-year career. But not only that, he has amazingly, whilst being one of the best heels in the entire business, manages to put on some of the best comedy matches ever by just playing the straight man to those comedies.
Yes.
I'm going to particularly point to his feuds with Yano in recent years. But he also had an appearance in Kaiju Mono, a Japanese monster film with Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, I saw clips of that.
Yes.
Looks bonkers.
Pretty mental. Minoru Suzuki has had a strangely massive influence in a lot of things that I really enjoy as well. He did a lot of motion capture for the video game Tekken, which I've played a lot of. He has had appearances in animes that I've watched quite a lot. It's kind of strange, really. But going back to wrestling, he obviously is running the Suzuki-gun faction, where he has taken young Zack Sabre Jr. under his wing and is doing a great job kind of teaching him the ropes and showing him how to do submissions, I'd like to say, but kind of they both do a fantastic job. They are.
I think he was all right to that.
Elevating the character. I
really
think,
are.
definitely.
Rev Pro tag champions at the moment. Speaking of Rev Pro, if you want some Minoru Suzuki, check out Tomohiro Ishii versus Minoru Suzuki at the most recent Rev Pro. I think might have been the one before that for the British title. Incredible stuff. If you want a cinematic match, Minoru Suzuki versus Kazuchika Okada, his 30th anniversary match. In the rain, in the pouring rain, these two wrestle. It is a thing of beauty. They wrestle to... I was going to spoil the result there. Just check it out on New Japan World. Very good match. The guy is a legend.
I haven't seen that. I want to see that.
Absolute legend of wrestling. Happy he's made the list.
Can I just say, Minoru Suzuki hits my favourite dropkick going.
Man,
Yeah.
I can see
And even now, like he's so high, so fast, it just looks great.
I love those little black boots he wears. Tiny little black boots.
I could honestly wax lyrical about him all day. I think my favourite thing in all of wrestling at the moment is a Minoru Suzuki match where he loses. Because, my God, you do not want to be a young lion outside of the ring after that. So, yeah.
Nice one, Sam. So that was Suzuki at number 28, and at 27 we've got Andrade Cien Almas, and John wanted to pick him out to talk about.
Yeah. So Andrade, obviously someone that was in NXT for quite a while, and although it's obvious that he was quite a good wrestler, character-wise it never really sort of struck. He was usually feuding with any sort of new signings to NXT. He was usually the guy that the new guys beat.
Yeah.
That all changed when they teamed him up with Selena Vega and made him this cocky heel, this sort of party boy that didn't care. And then boom, sort of the rocket was went off. And then out of nowhere, he beat Drew McIntyre for the belt, which is probably one of the most shocking things I've seen. Certainly in NXT for ages. Like it came out, no one saw it coming. You know, what was a great match as well.
Yeah.
And then since then, obviously, he's been called up. Although he hasn't sort of broken through yet or challenged him for any belts, he's having great matches with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and he's just such a good worker. Like, no matter who he works with, he just puts on a great match.
I would probably go as far to say he's my favourite male wrestler on SmackDown at the moment. I am a huge fan of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a little fun fact.
Do it.
He made his wrestling debut just before his 14th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a great fact.
Very young, very young. I don't know what the child labour laws are like in Mexico, but apparently they're pretty lax.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of his entrance as well, with the mask and then ripping it off. It's kind of good heel move for a Mexican wrestler.
I'm just going to be... I mean, I haven't gotten over his, obviously, CML days or AAA days because I don't watch that. It's too much. But if you want to check out some of his matches, obviously he had a couple of really good matches with Johnny Gargano at Takeover Philadelphia, and several matches with Aleister Black at several takeovers, which were awesome, which are worth checking out.
Fantastic.
Good stuff. So that is 27, Andrade Cien Almas, and to complete a hat trick of wrestlers that we want to talk about in more detail, at number 26, it's Asuka, and it's Sam again.
You are not ready for Asuka.
Okay, let's move on then.
Asuka's career is amazing. When researching this top 50, she was the person who had easily the most interesting career I think I've ever read about. There is a fantastic article on, I think, Up Rocks, which is worth reading about if you want to look at her career in detail. But from her days in Japan when wrestling as Kana all the way up to kind of current day, she has been a real trailblazer in the women's division, which has been just on fire in the last few years, and in no small part because of her. In Japan, she kind of in 2010 came under a lot of controversy writing what was called the Kana Manifesto, which was ultimately complaining about a lot of female wrestlers and kind of being a bit just kind of boring and not really kind of making a lot of sense. And she really challenged a lot of the preconceptions of women's wrestling in Japan, kind of championing a lot of intergender wrestling and literally booking her own shows. Like, that's just sort of unheard of, really, over here, especially for women's wrestlers as well. But she has done a fantastic job of that. She's had some great matches whilst in Japan, some of which you can find with looking up Kana and seeing her in her Triple Tails tag team with Mio and Io Shirai. Some very disturbing intergender matches with Minoru Suzuki. Not gonna lie, great way to learn how to take a punch, I guess. It's interesting.
Probably quite shocking to see.
It's pretty hefty. There is a point where Suzuki's own tag team partner comes in to try and stop the violence.
Wow, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Brave.
Mako Satomura, yeah. doesn't end well for Mako. But kind of going on from that, she has had some amazing matches with Suzuki and Tajiri and Omega, funnily enough. And yeah, kind of coming into NXT on a real hot streak. She then went on to have some incredible feuds with the Iconic Duo and Ember Moon and... she went on to have some amazing feuds with the Iconic Duo and Dana Brooke and Emma, and even some incredible matches with Ember Moon, which I would strongly recommend checking out. If you
she
really
did all right
want-
in NXT, didn't she?
She did fantastic.
Do you remember that last woman standing match against Nikki Cross? That was,
I was just going to
Yes.
shout about that one.
That match was killer. That was so
That
good,
was
match.
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had to recommend a match for Asuka to watch now, I would actually suggest, you know what, go and check out the first Women's Royal Rumble, because, goddamn, that is a celebration of women's wrestling, and the best woman won.
Oh, interesting choice. Yeah, she did really well there, and it was sort of, you had the belief. Well, they had you believing that big things were ahead for her.
And then they took that away.
Anyway, we're being positive this pod. Only positivity. Good. Okay. So that was Asuka at number 26, and now we're into the top 25, and it's just all killer, no filler from now on. It's just quality wrestler after quality wrestler. So at number 25, we've got Adam Cole.
Baby.
Adam Cole, baby. Oh, John B.
Bit late, Sam. Bit late.
I know.
At number 24, what could be quite a big surprise, Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Why do you reckon it's a surprise?
I just thought he'd be higher.
It's my fault, isn't it?
Did you not rate him?
I don't think I had. Did I have him at all?
I don't think you did have him at all. Why? Explain yourself,
Seth
Brett.
Rollins would be higher had he not had a knee injury and then had it commentated about in every single match since then.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I
you don't
hate
need to
that.
explain it now, Brett. No. Okay, fair enough. At number 23, as I said, we had Adam Cole at number 25, but at 23 we have Undisputed Era, because we decided to just have the other guys as a tag team, and they have been absolutely brilliant. So they're at number 23. And number 22, Johnny Gargano.
Ooh,
Johnny Wrestling.
Now, had this list been made after Takeover, I think he might have been higher.
Yeah, because I was cool into Johnny before
Yeah.
Takeover. I was like, I'm not sure where they're going to go with him now.
Same.
Turning him heel, but I feel like they maybe lose a bit of steam after the Ciampa feud. But that match with Aleister Black was off the
Good
charts.
God.
Good.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Seriously good. But only at number 22. So it shows what talent we've got to come. And at number 21, another shocker, AJ Styles.
The face that runs the place.
Yeah.
But only comes 21st in a list. So yeah, that's that 10, and I think we'll have a little break now because everybody's probably just frothing with excitement and they need to compose themselves on their commute to work. Take out the headphones, have a little breather, and we'll come back after this for our countdown from 20 to 11.
Looking for fear factor, that package pile driver on the apron. Penta, oh no! He nailed it! And Omega's down, and he might be out!
Back On to it then. At number 20, Tetsuya Naito. Oh, here we go again. I can't fucking say stuff.
Tetsuya Naito.
Tetsuya Naito. At number 20, Tetsuya Naito. At number 19, that was great. Great accent. At number 19, moving on swiftly, it's Kevin Owens. Sam, tell us, why is Kevin Owens at number 19? He hasn't wrestled for ages and he's been a bit rubbish.
Kevin Owens has enough goodwill in the bank to be up there, because do you know what Kevin Owens does better than anyone?
What?
Wrestle and cut promos.
Yeah.
Well, I say better than anyone. Better than about 31 other people. Yeah. Kevin Owens is a fantastic talent who I think a lot of people feel is underutilized in WWE in recent times. He absolutely burst onto the NXT scene, but that would be doing him a disservice as Kevin Steen in the Indies as well, where he was absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
His work on the mic is some of the best in all of WWE. If you were to give him a mic and a bit of free reign, he would do fantastic things. No more so than actually holding a decent Universal title run where he didn't really wrestle that much, but still put on some of the most entertaining promos with Chris Jericho
Yes.
at the time.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But the thing with Kevin Owens, he can play a comedy guy all you want, which, as you guys know, I absolutely love. He can play a serious villain as well. If you want to see that, no better than TakeOver Rival 2015, where after betraying Sami Zayn and literally beating the shit out of him, he only went and did it again and got a referee stoppage, which just unheard of, really, in title matches, to be honest. This was awesome. And then they had a rematch, and kind of everyone's thinking, okay, yeah, Sammy's going to kind of go over. The face always goes over. Another referee stoppage. Another powerbomb into the apron.
So good.
Yeah, during this, he was feuding with John Cena. Like, he had appeared on Raw as having an incredible feud with Cena, feuding with Sami Zayn. Samoa Joe just comes out, makes his debut, starts a feud with him, kind of. So, just fighting battles on all fronts. Yeah, had probably one of the most impactful debuts onto the main roster.
Yeah, definitely.
His trilogy with John Cena is one of my favourites, so really worth checking out. If you do want to check those out, that's Raw, May 18th episode from 2015, Elimination Chamber 2015, and Money in the Bank 2015. Just really good trio of matches. And if I had to recommend one match for you to watch with Kevin Owens, it would be the Fatal 4 Extreme Rules 2016, The Miz versus Cesaro versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that was so good.
Real classic.
So good.
Kevin Owens, number 19.
I rated Kevin Owens quite high. I think just because he has taken whatever WWE creative have given him, and I'm sure some of it in someone else's hands would have just been a complete pile of dog poo-poo. But Kevin Owens makes anything work.
Yeah,
he really does. I think that's the best thing about him.
Yeah.
He's the highest WWE male on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
That is mad. Not including NXT.
No, not including NXT.
I was going to say.
I think he's the highest WWE male main roster on our list in general.
Ooh, good facts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I just made that one up.
That is a real achievement as well. Think about it, because he's not even wrestling at the moment. So
that's how good he is.
That is the last WWE main roster guy you're going to hear about as we get into the next 18. So at 18 is Tommaso Ciampa. Again, I mean, we could talk about him for a long, long time. Incredible match again at TakeOver, and just an incredible heel and brilliant work consistently. Just like Johnny Gargano deserves props for being so consistently brilliant on NXT. Yeah. Number 17, we've got David Starr. And he is somebody who I really wanted to talk about a little bit, because he featured in my top 10. And I did think about just reading out his ring intro that he has for every match.
Can you do it? Do you know it off the top of your head?
No, I don't. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, David Starr is someone who I've seen on Progress, and we've seen a lot of down at Riptide. And I was initially drawn to him because of his charisma, basically, and his character and his personality, and he's so funny and he's really cool. And it took me a couple of matches just to realise how good he actually is as a wrestler and as a technician. And he's clearly somebody who like really loves the craft of wrestling. And I think he's another one like Spike, who we talked about earlier, who he can just work in a huge range of matches. And we've seen that at Riptide, and I've seen that across all sorts of other promotions. He can do the really great comedy matches, and he can do the stiff, serious, brutal matches as well. He's someone who's an absolute workhorse. If you follow him on Twitter or on Instagram, you see he's always competing all around the world, flying back and forth from the States to the UK, pretty much always wrestling Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sometimes Tuesday night as well. I think he's moving to the UK full time soon, which is great for us. He's only 27 years old, so we've got a lot more in the bank from him.
That's mental. He carries himself with so much experience.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that he was only 27. Born in 1991, just to make us feel really horrible and old. So in terms of matches, I've said that he can do great comedy. Who was the opponent with the sort of the Baywatch match at Riptide? Can you remember?
Was it Mambo?
I thought it was Mumbo, is what you told me.
I think
Yeah,
that would make sense. I should have researched that. But yeah, that was hilarious. But my favourite Riptide match has got to be the match that he had with Jack Sexsmith at Riptide Rumble.
Yes,
amazing,
that was great
storytelling. You know, he came into it as best friends. He wasn't really wanting to take out any fury on Sexsmith, but Sexsmith was sort of insisting, saying, "Come on, I need this. Just give me a match. Give me a proper match." And things escalated, and it was just brilliant from both of them.
His match against Ridgeway as well in the Brighton Championship was one of the hardest hitting matches I've ever seen, I think.
Yes. Yeah, he can work so stiff if he has to, and he clearly enjoys it. I haven't been a big fan of the way he's been booked in Progress, like the sort of the sexy star stuff, not too keen on, but saying that, it looks like maybe after Wembley things are on the up for him, because he had this absolutely brilliant match with Dragunov at Chapter 78, which I definitely encourage people to look out for. And I also know he's been doing a lot of great work at Rev Pro, where he's the British Cruiserweight champion, and he's had matches against Ishii and Kushida. And I haven't seen a lot of that Rev Pro stuff, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So yeah, David Starr, number 17.
Excellent.
David Starr.
David Starr. Great child as well. I love that.
Yeah, very nice. Number 16, another brilliant wrestler who Brett is going to talk about. It is the Velveteen Dream.
DREAM. Yes.
Oh, we're so cool.
Mega cool.
Yeah, honestly. Go on, Brett.
I can't after saying that. I'm done. I've corpsed myself. So Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, go for it. Come on, compose yourself. You're a professional podcaster, 50 episodes deep. You can do this.
Yeah. So as we were talking about the age of David Starr just a moment ago, Velveteen Dream is only 23 years old.
Oh my God.
Hell.
He made his wrestling debut in late 2014.
Fuck me.
Yeah, so he was originally in WWE Tough Enough in 2015, where he placed only 9th overall, but soon after that he got a developmental contract, and, you know, he is probably, you know, a proper WWE product.
Yeah.
With the way WWE is going at the moment, it's a lot of independent guys coming in, and he is someone that they've produced who is top notch. And he's so over because of his character, because of, I think in a way, just like Kevin Owens, like I praise Kevin Owens on, you know, he's taking storylines and he's running with them. You know, like the Say My Name, like that was a great feud over such a
incredible.
That was so fantastic.
Over such like a small thing. But you know, he is losing his big matches in NXT at Takeover. He's not winning, yet the crowd are like turning onto his side. But yeah, he's only 23 years old. He is like as athletically gifted as he is. He, you know, his wrestling, is only going to improve, but it's already great.
It is.
And unlike what I think most about him is also with the matches I'm going to recommend straight after this is like at 23 years old, he's telling these stories inside the ring as well. You know, like you're expecting him to go out, you're sort of thinking he's not going to win, and then like it's, you know, it builds up and you think he's gonna win this.
Yeah,
you know,
you always believe that there's a chance.
Yeah,
I think kind of the one thing with Velveteen Dream and kind of a lot of these people as we go up the list is that Velveteen Dream is a wrestling fan's wrestler. You can see when he is wrestling how much he loves it, like kind of the references to previous wrestlers like The Rock or Rick Rude or Hulk Hogan even, and just kind of really displaying that in the ring, really living it. It doesn't feel like it's a job for him. It feels like it's an absolute passion, and it's so nice to see in the ring.
Yeah, totally.
And think about how we felt when he first came back. Like when he came back as Velveteen Dream, it was like, what is this? Oh,
yeah, I hated this gimmick.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was bold.
Surely not immediately.
I mean,
I liked the look. I wasn't sure about the gimmick, how that was going to work, but those purple pants he was wearing and those like white boots like Naito's got with the little things in the glass, I was like, okay, I'm on board with this look. That looks pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean, I liked it early doors because it gave me Gold Dust kind of sort of impression, and I love Gold Dust.
There was a bit about that.
What I love about NXT is like people like Velveteen Dream. I remember when he first debuted in NXT, and he was wearing like a big white frilly shirt, and it was very Princey. And then he sort of went away for a bit and kind of refined it a bit more. Then he came back, and it kind of progressed a bit more.
He's really smashed that gimmick, though. He's turned it from a parody of Prince into a fantastic wrestler who is basically based on the theme of Prince.
Yeah.
In
character.
NXT, they have the time and creativity to be able to do that, which I think is wonderful.
Absolutely.
They don't punish you immediately if you fail.
Yeah.
No. So, I've got I'm just going to throw out 2 must-watch matches, both obviously fairly recent because, you know, he's not been wrestling that long. The first one being against Aleister Black at War Games in 2017. As we were saying, you know, that was a great feud building up to it. And then the storytelling in the ring. And you're thinking, you know, considering the streak Aleister Black was on, you thought Dream might actually win this again. And then 1 year on versus Tommaso Ciampa at War Games 2018. Like that match had me out of my seat at a few spots, moments. I was just like, I was all invested in who was going to win that match.
Yeah.
I also want to say that out of everyone in our whole top 50, out of everyone who I think is going to be a future WrestleMania main event, it's got to be him.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the main roster crowd take to him, and whether or not he's given that opportunity to do what he does in NXT.
That would be my fear.
I think he's going to do big things because I think WWE, they're going to want to push a homegrown product like him.
Yeah, they love pushing a homegrown product.
Yeah, could be right. Okay, Velveteen Dream at number 16. Number 15, another massive name, Kazuchika Okada.
One I thought would be higher.
Yeah. I just don't watch enough New Japan for him to feature too high in my list, but I do appreciate that he is an awesome talent.
Well, great wrestler, but top 50 easily.
Number 14, Brett's chance to talk again, because it's somebody he is madly and deeply in love with. It's Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. Rowdy Ronda.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm such a big fan of Ronda just because even watching like all the indie wrestling we watch now and the New Japan and everything that's going on in WWE, like a female wrestler, and as great as the women's roster is now, is coming in and producing such sort of pace, you know, intensity. You know, she throws like great strikes, and it's all about those transitions.
Yeah.
Into arm bars and triangles. I can't get enough of transitions in wrestling. And she just brings new stuff. It feels like it's new stuff from her background that, you know, it might have been done elsewhere, but it just feels when she's doing it in that ring that you're seeing something new. And each match so far, it feels like there's another thing you're seeing that you've not seen before.
Yeah, it's like they're still building with her, and she's already kind of at that point where people are like, we want to see these matches.
Yes. I mean, there's loads that I could talk about with Ronda because obviously she's got fighting history before WWE with winning an Olympic medal in judo. Obviously, a massive undefeated streak in UFC. But one fact I'm going to pull out for Sam: Rousey is an avid fan of Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon.
I know.
Really?
I love it.
Favorite Pokemon is Mew, and she had a childhood crush on Vegeta. Apparently,
Vegeta.
yeah, I don't know who that is. And
She wore a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt, I think, with Vegeta on to her first WrestleMania appearance.
oh wow, there you go.
I bet you fell in love with her as well.
I'm a big fan.
But she also endorsed Bernie Sanders, so politically she's on the right side of things.
Right up your street, yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing I was reading a recent article, but basically from a Q&A I think she'd done on social media, where she was expressing how hard she's finding being on the road constantly with WWE and being away from her home. And I think she's got like a farm with some animals.
Oh god,
and,
lots of ducks.
And with all the film roles she's doing as well, I'm wondering how short this career in WWE is going to be, because it felt like she's gone all in and she's going to be there, and it's just like, you know.
Do you know, that leads into one of the best things about her, which is kind of, it would have been so easy for Ronda Rousey to turn up at WrestleMania, collect a paycheck, do a single match, have it be a bit of a kind of toilet break. None of that. She has come in and absolutely smashed it. She's gone into wrestling, and it's not like she's kind of living off UFC. It's not like she's kind of trying to make it MMA. Yes, she does the armbar, and yeah, she's meant the baddest woman on the planet, but she's not kind of trying to work with that. She's trying to be a wrestler, and she is doing a fantastic job.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just going to throw two matches in here quickly. Obviously, there's not many. So the first I'm actually going to say versus Nia Jax at Money in the Bank 2018. Mm-hmm. And this was a match that actually gave me thoughts of Bret Hart and his great matches, because, you know, she showed she could sell, she takes the beating. She doesn't just go in there and, like, you know, which we thought might be the case early doors, just go in there and dominate. You know, it's like she really takes a beating and then, like, you know, eventually plucks it up and then has the comeback.
Yeah.
There's that underdog aspect.
That match was definitely the moment where you thought, oh, actually, she's pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Because selling is something that non-wrestlers who come into wrestling, I think, find really hard. Like if you look at Bill Goldberg, for example, not a great seller. But when she really embraced it and was amazing at it during that match.
Yeah.
She's another one who is very much a fan of wrestling. You can really tell when she's doing it. Fun fact about Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Least experienced person in the entire top 50. She is the 0.5 in the 556.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that is an amazing stat. Last match to recommend, obviously versus Charlotte at Survivor Series that's just happened, because that was a fight, and I think that elevated, you know, both of those performers as well. Just amazing. What a fight. And showing that she's gone all in on wrestling. You know, she took that beating that she took, covered in bruises and welts, and she was, you know, fighting in Raw the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Good. Well done, Brett. Well done, Ronda. Number 13, we have Tyler Bate, the big strong boy himself. And at number 12, Tony Storm. John, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Tony Storm, former Stardom and Progress champion. She's been wrestling all across the world for what seems like forever. She mixes Japanese strong style, English grappling and power. She's got an absolute killer German suplex. She's one of those wrestlers you see her and you know she knows her character so well. She never puts on a bad match. She's one of the very top wrestlers in the world, despite only being 23, which is utterly disgusting.
She's got so much experience, Tony Storm.
Yeah.
So much in so many different types of promotion and environment. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she won the Mae Young Classic this year and had one of the match of the year with Satomura. It appears that WWE are very hot on her. It feels like only a matter of time until she's in NXT main, which would be fantastic. I remember when I first saw her at Riptide, I was so excited. She feels like a proper like headliner to Tony Storm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's great. She's super charismatic, a great wrestler.
Going to go on to do big things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, big career ahead.
Yeah, matches wise, all of her matches in the Mae Young this year were superb. The Mia Yim one was great. Sasamura was great. Obviously, the final against Io Shirai was great. And Fatal 4-Way at Progress Chapter 25 is awesome as well. Worth checking out.
Nice.
Awesome. Tony Storm, number 12. And now, number 11. The unlucky wrestler who didn't quite squeak into the top 10. And what a talent he is. It's Zack Sabre Jr.
Zach.
Oh,
Yeah.
So good.
Sabre Jr.
Keep working on your mic work, and next year.
Yeah.
Could be your
Fantastic
year,
wrestler.
even though you're absolutely one of the best in the world ever. God, so good.
Yeah,
So
easily.
good. Okay, so that's it. That's 50 down to 40. We are going to do the top 10 in a minute. But before that, we're going to have a little stats interlude with Sam. And we're going to have that after this.
And that is the hardest part of the ring. Nothing but steel under that. Oh!
Oh, no. This is bad. This is bad.
Stats.
Yes.
10 nations represented in our top 50. I will go through them in a bit. I don't want to spoil the top 10. Most experience with 30 years, Minoru Suzuki, as already said. Second most, Meiko Satomura. Third most, Chris Jericho, 23 years.
Wow.
Least experienced on the other kind of side of things, Ronda Rousey with 6 months, Spike Trivet and Millie McKenzie with 2 years, and 3 years with Shayna Baszler and a mystery wrestler in our top 10.
Can I just say, I did not realise how much research you put into this.
Yeah,
You've gone through every single wrestler, looked at their experience, their heights, their weights. This is amazing.
You should see my copy of the spreadsheet. It's insane.
Mate, I want a printed, signed copy, please.
Right, will do. I've got one more stat. My favourite stat of this entire thing.
Give it to us.
The average wrestler. I have gone through our top 50. I have added up weights. I have added up heights. I have divided by 50. As you do. Do you guys want to make a guess from our 40 to 50 who the average height and weight is? Who the closest matches this? Because
Seth Rollins?
it's a good guess. It's not right.
Average.
AJ Styles?
Not AJ. John?
The Miz.
It's not The Miz. Good guess. Brett?
Adam Cole.
It's not Adam
He's
Cole,
quite
baby.
small, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe this is slightly influenced by the fact that I've included the women in this, which has maybe dropped the height.
Okay,
Or maybe
that's
it
all right.
hasn't.
Go for it.
The average wrestler is 5'7", 222 pounds. There is one wrestler who is 5'7", 220 pounds, and his name is Tomohiro Ishii. Who, if I had to say the average wrestler in this list,
Wow.
I would
So
not say
average.
the living thwomp.
No,
Wow.
that's the thing about Ishii. Like, you think he's a big man,
He's not.
He's
tight.
so
but he's
small.
not.
Well, same
He
height
really
as me and
isn't.
Sam, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of, well, he's my height and he's probably my weight. So there we go. There's hope for me yet.
Wow, it's good fact,
Wow.
Sam.
Average age, quickly?
Yeah.
32 and a half.
Ooh.
So there we go.
Interesting. There we go. Thank you, Sam.
All right.
Brilliant stats. Great research.
Guys, it's top 10.
Top 10.
Here it is then. Yeah, the top 10. The 10 favourite wrestlers. Our 10 favourite wrestlers, which immediately means they are the 10 best in the world. At number 10 is...
Charlotte!
Ooh.
Still so cool. Oh, God. I can't believe it. We're so hip. Charlotte Flair, I mean, absolute legend already. Living legend. Definitely one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. And she's still going strong, and there is so much ahead for her. Obviously, she's got the family legacy, a lot to live up to. She didn't really do much wrestling as a kid, wasn't that up into it. Went into NXT, did brilliant things there. Obviously, was at the forefront of the women's evolution as part of the Four Horsewomen. We talked a little bit about that match that she had at NXT TakeOver Rival, the four-way, a great match. And those four have all gone on to do a lot of great stuff. But Charlotte has probably been the most successful in terms of titles.
I
And
thought
things.
you were going to say those three have gone on to great stuff and Bailey's there too.
That actually did cross my mind as I was saying that. I was like, who are they? Oh, Bailey. Oh, shit. Okay, no, doesn't matter. Still include her. She's done a lot.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Charlotte Flair has it all in my eyes. She's got the look. She's got the entrance. She's got the strength. She's got the athleticism, the moveset, the facial expressions, the mic skills, the ability to work face or heel, even though we all prefer her as a heel. She's been NXT Women's Champ, Divas Champ, SmackDown Women's Champ, Raw Women's Champ, first woman to main event Raw, first woman to main event SmackDown, first woman to main event a pay-per-view. And as I said, already one of the greatest. Absolutely
Only
brilliant.
6 years experience.
Yeah.
That's a lot in 6 years.
That is a lot.
And it just feels to me that she should be the first woman, or at least in the match, to headline WrestleMania. And obviously, you know, the talk of it potentially being Ronda and Becky is exciting, but I do really hope they go for the triple threat, because she should be in that. She should be in that match. There is no doubt.
I think I could see that, yeah, definitely.
The incredible thing with Charlotte is that I was never around to really watch primetime Ric Flair. And, you know, people wax lyrical about him, and I've never really kind of had a chance to watch him wrestle in his prime. Charlotte, if she is kind of any indication of what Rick was like, is kind of it does make a lot of sense, and Charlotte is a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah. Match-wise, two of my absolute favourites have happened just within the last month or so, with the Ronda match at Survivor Series and the Becky match at Evolution. That we had the Raw headline match that I mentioned a second ago in 2016 with Sasha Banks, and the Hell in a Cell match with Sasha Banks in 2016 was brilliant. I mean, they were flip-flopping the title a lot then, which was a bit annoying, but the match quality was there.
Yeah, they had one of the match of the years just on a Raw, I think. It was incredible.
Yeah. The 4 horsewomen match that I mentioned, that was in 2015, if you want to go back to that. And even the match with Asuka at WrestleMania, obviously a lot of the talk was about the fact that Asuka's streak was ended.
I loved that match. I thought
that
it was great.
a great match. And so that's why I am championing Charlotte Flair, and I love her. And she came in at number 10.
There's a bit of Hugh Grant there. I love her.
Yeah, okay, fine. Hugh Grant. That is not what I wanted to hear.
It's our top 10 and I'm being mean.
Well, that's all right. It wouldn't be a pod without you being mean. Number 9.
Hey, come on, guys. It's a special day for us all.
It is. Come on. It's like Christmas. We don't want to have an argument. Don't ruin it. Everyone be on their best behaviour. Number 9. And it's someone John's going to talk about. And this may come as a surprise to our listeners, because she featured pretty highly on their lists. It is
Becky Lynch!
Becky Lynch, the man.
The man, Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch has always been a popular wrestler, sort of the plucky underdog. She came close to the title a couple of times, came close in the sort of Money in the Bank ladder matches a few times, but never had enough to get over the line. And then at this year's SummerSlam, she snapped. In a triple threat with Charlotte and Carmella, Charlotte won the belt back and Becky turned on her.
Sorry, Charlotte and Kamala.
Amazing. Did I say Kamala? Did he make a run in?
Sounded a bit like it.
Okay. In a triple threat match with Charlotte and Carmella, Charlotte won the belt back and Becky turned on her. The crowd, rather than boo her, started going crazy. Yeah. And at that point, that started the whole process of Becky becoming one of the hottest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, easily.
Becky is now an absolute badass in everything she does. The way she walks, the way she talks, the way she wrestles, even eating quinoa. She's just phenomenal. Like, I've never seen a wrestler from before SummerSlam, where she was, to where she is now, that sort of rise so quickly. It's been astronomical.
It's very unusual to see a this kind of level of elevation. I'd probably say like Daniel Bryan and Stone Cold are the ones that stand out as well. But I tell you, if you've been talked about in those names, then you're doing something right.
She's so over that all the fans immediately hate anybody else who isn't her. Yeah. Hence the Ronda booing and everything like that.
I've never been this excited about a WWE wrestler in, maybe like CM Punk days. Like it's truly electrifying. It feels like she could legitimately be the face of the company. Like, not just like male or female, just the entire face of the company. She could be beyond wrestling big.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what she's literally doing at the moment. You know, she's got the attention of people like Conor McGregor and stuff. Like, things are big time for her at the moment.
Yeah. And John, Becky Lynch was your number 1 pick, right?
Yeah, I put her number 1. I'm terrible for like present bias. But yeah, I think she's awesome. And just, you know when she invaded Raw and then sort of Nia cleaned her clock? The fact she carried on with blood gushing from her face and like severe concussion, and then at the end she was just standing at the top of the arena.
That image,
stairs.
that's going to be iconic in wrestling, like how, kind of like Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, there's going to be a kind of iconic image of Becky Lynch standing there.
I mean, when I watched it, I had like goosebumps. It was incredible. It's such an amazing image.
Absolutely awesome.
She's the best.
Yeah, she featured quite highly on most of our lists.
Except,
you're going to call me out now?
I'm calling you out.
Of course we are.
Yeah.
Of course we are, Brett.
Brett, where did she feature on your list?
Yeah, where did she come on your list?
Brett,
where did she come? Where did she come, Brett? Where did she come?
1 to 50.
I don't think
Hey
she's
guys,
on my list.
this is all like, it's private. Don't call him out on it. It's just.
She's not on my list.
Becky Lynch wasn't on Brett's list.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that like everyone was raving about Game of Thrones, and I'm like, no, I'm not watching that.
Well, Brett, you don't watch Game of Thrones.
That's a great analogy.
No, many years later, when everyone's quieting down about it, then I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Becky Lynch is the Breaking Bad of your list.
Yes, exactly. I think Becky Lynch character-wise is awesome, and I love everything she does. I'm just not 100% there with her in-ring stuff.
Give it time.
I don't think she's bad, but she's not my favourite.
That's fine.
And the problem is,
Brett,
we
you're
can't
entitled to your
really
views, Brett.
complain about that
Sorry.
because it's favourites. So it's not best. We can't.
We
argue.
joke. Your list is your list, and that's cool.
Kinda. Anyway,
Kind of. It's just against all of wrestling fandom.
we need to give a quick shout about how amazing she has been on Twitter as well and Instagram and the feuding with Ronda. She's so sharp and so funny. And I know a lot of wrestlers and celebrities in general have like PR people or writers, but I don't know if she does, but it comes across so brilliantly, and that's a big part of things these days. You have to be good on social media, and she is bossing it.
Biggest thing in wrestling at the moment.
Yeah.
Easily the most over wrestler in the
I
world.
won't disagree with that.
Good. John, matches?
Well, actually, a recommendation from Sam, which I watched today, was the Takeover Rivalry 2015, the Fatal 4-Way, which is a great match just to see how far the 4 horsewomen have come.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the Hell in a Cell match in 2018 against Charlotte. It's really good. And obviously, Evolution, the last women's standing match, is
Absolute classic.
absolutely amazing match.
Loved it. Loved that so much.
Oh, fun fact, she was trained by Finn Balor when she was young.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, there we go.
Good. There you go, Becky. You're happy with that? Okay. You're currently experiencing the most successful period in your whole career, but you only came 9th in our list. So, yeah, maybe pipe down a little bit. Number 8. The highest ranked tag team. And in fact, Sam, am I right in saying we've only had 3 tag teams?
We have only had 3 tag teams. Tag teams did not feature highly. Part of it is because it's kind of hard to do a tag team. Part of it is because WWE buried their entire tag division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, totally.
And there's just so much good singles talent out there. But the tag team that we have at number 8 is one that I'm going to talk about. And it is one that is extremely popular with us. And it is...
Yay. I love these guys.
Very surprised at how high Aussie Open have come on
Yes,
our list.
me
But I'm happy
too.
for them because they're lovable.
They're lovable.
Yeah.
Higher than Young Bucks seems weird.
It's a strange one. I think the thing is that they kind of tick the boxes that I absolutely love about a tag team, which is kind of a big man, small man dynamic.
Yeah, Kane X Pac, classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Aussie Open, who I'm going to talk about.
Sorry, Adam.
Obviously, the Aussie Arrow, Carl Fletcher, and Dunkzilla, Mark Davis. I think that, they feature so highly because we've seen a lot of them together at Riptide. So that always enhances things when you get to actually see them. And the fact that all 4 of us have been to enjoy them. The fact that all 4 of us have been able to enjoy them together has meant that they've featured highly on all of our lists. Probably the premier tag team in the UK right now. They're just winning championships all over the shop. And at a time where there's been tag teams that have broken up or there's been these cobbled together ones, they've just been a real solid team. And obviously we saw them win the Progress Championships at Wembley, which was an amazing moment. They've got a great entrance with the Run the Jewels song, which they obviously don't use anymore on Progress because they can't.
Nope.
But on the Indies they do. They've got loads of charisma. As you said, the sort of classic big man, little man combo.
I say little man. I mean, Kyle Fletcher's a big, strong boy.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like Fletcher has put on loads of weight and is now hench, and he was tall anyway. But he was very skinny initially, and Davis was very big, but he's also slimmed down a lot. So they're coming together. You know, they're getting closer in terms of size. Obviously, they've got loads of great moves. They've got a great understanding. The fidget spinner is a finisher I really, really like. They've got loads of great merch. I don't know who's designed some of that recent merch, but oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Brett never sells himself, so here's an opportunity. Brett has made some of their merch, and it's really great, so go and buy that. In terms of matches, there are loads. Obviously, at Riptide, we had a El Fantasmo and Angelico against Aussie Open match where they did this really great comedy match with loads of slow motion stuff, which was hilarious. And then the next night, we went from comedy to one of the stiffest tag team matches I've ever seen when they fought against Ringkampf.
Oh, what a match.
I felt so sorry for Aussie Open in that match.
Yeah.
They had a match at Chapter 60 at Progress versus Grizzled Young Veterans and Moustache Mountain, which was brilliant. A lot of that was to do with the mic stuff with Gibson and Trent Seven, but Aussie Open really stood out on that. Chapter 69 versus Mills and Mayhew. More recently at Chapter 77 versus Grizzled Young Veterans and the 198. Obviously, they've had some dream matches at Red Pro against Suzuki Gun, LIJ, Evil and Sonada as well.
Chosen. I saw them against the Chosen Bros against Red Pro.
Oh, yes.
That was incredible.
And then my last shout is actually for a match in which they faced each other. So not as a tag team, but this was live at the Dome, February earlier this year. I think it was a qualifier for the Natural Progression Series, something like that. But wow, what a brutal match. The fact that they knew each other and they were comfortable with each other, they trusted each other, meant that they hit the shit out of each other.
That's what we like, aren't we? That's what we
Can I add one little match to that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Aussie Open versus Chris Brooks and Pete Dunne with a little bit of interference from myself.
Oh, yeah.
I got to help Pete John break Carl Fletcher's fingers.
Yeah. I had that on my list and then I remembered it featured you, so I just got rid of it.
In my top 10.
Good. So that's Aussie Open, the highest ranked tag team. Well done to them. Probably quite a surprise. And moving on to number 7. It is... Volta. Yes, and John, you're going to talk about him.
Yeah, Walter. He's dominated the independent wrestling scene over the last couple of years, consistently putting on some of the best matches you'll ever see in whatever promotion he's wrestling.
Stiffest matches.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
If you're lucky enough to see him live, he's a true spectacle, sort of almost on that sort of Andre the Giant sort of level. He has such a presence about him. He's absolutely terrifying. It's weird seeing him sell merch as well because he's just in like lounge gear. It's weird. But he isn't just your standard big scary wrestler. He's absolutely phenomenal in the ring. He makes the sleeper hold look like the most brutal move in wrestling. He can put on great matches with anyone, no matter what the size, and always make the opponent look good in places, which I think is such a massive role in wrestling. No matter how good you are, you have to make your opponent look good, and he's really good at that, even if he is clubbing them to death. His chops are the most devastating thing I've ever seen in wrestling. They're brutal. I love his matches so much, but there's a tinge of, is this too much? Is this too stiff? I feel sorry for anyone he's wrestling, but I can't get enough of watching them. They're amazing. He's had some great matches against Matt Riddle at Progress, phenomenal match against Mike Bailey at Riptide, and Hello Wembley for Progress against Tyler Bate was a phenomenal match as well, which they did release on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up there, but it's worth checking out if you haven't.
Amazing that match.
Yeah, I think it's still there. Yeah,
that was a proper main event.
Take a moment as well to point out how good his entrance is.
Yeah, like music, the coat, everything. Oh, also, he was trained by Ishii, which is... I'd love to see a match with those two. Yeah, I'd love to see a match between those two. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. He was always going to get in the top 10, Walter. So
he's unlike any other wrestler in the world, I think.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. Well
His
done.
drop kicks are so... the whole ring and building shakes when he does a drop kick.
Yeah.
He's just terrifying, I think. That's the thing, isn't
Yeah.
he? Because he's so imposing. Those chops are so stiff and basically, knock people senseless. I mean, there was a great photo of... they caught a snap, just as he'd,
with the ripples.
Yeah, with all the ripples on the chest. Oh,
do you guys want a Walter fact?
Oh, yes.
hell yeah.
Third biggest man on the list.
Only the third.
Third.
Only the third.
Only
Keith
the third.
Lee. Obviously
behind
Keith Lee.
and Braun Strowman.
Good old Braun.
Yeah.
Well done, Braun. At least he won something. Okay, that's number 7, Voltaire. And number 6, it's...
The aerial assassin, Will Ospreay!
The Aerial Assassin. Brett, tell us about him.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Will Ospreay. So, I actually think, and especially since being in Japan, Will Ospreay is probably actually the most complete wrestler. He can do literally it all in the ring. Whether it's a stiff match of strikes, if it's technical British wrestling, or, as many people call it, flippy shit, but it is truly amazing what he can do in
The
a ring
man
off
who
the
gravity
ropes.
forgot.
Yeah, it's just obscene, and because of that ability, obviously he can innovate in the ring, and he's just amazing. But so Will Ospreay is also he's only 25.
Oh, that's depressing. That is depressing.
He made his debut in April 2012. He is this good, and he has also got this far, and he doesn't need WWE to have the level that he's got to. Either. He's a huge deal. He's the first Briton to win both the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship and the Best of Super Juniors. It's just astounding how good he is.
He is phenomenal. He's so much more than just you call him a high flyer. He's so much more than just a high flyer.
Yeah, he is everything.
Yeah,
I think
he's phenomenal.
I'm a huge fan of the Oz Cutter, and then when he debuted the Stormbreaker as well,
my life.
I had to watch that GIF about 12 times and just be like, "What is going on here?" There's just spinning and then pain.
I do worry about his neck though. He seems like a wrestler that's going to retire.
Yeah. One of the matches I'll mention, oh my days, what they do.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the concept of self-care, does he?
No, but the thing is, I was reading, he's had contact from WWE, but he was saying, obviously when he was younger, everyone dreams of that. But actually, as he's grown up more by being in Japan, he's very happy in Japan. And I think something that he said that he wants to bring to British wrestling with his own promotion, Frontline Wrestling, is that he wants to bring it back to being more of a sport. And I think that probably makes sense to why he loves being in Japan and what he does, because it is portrayed more of a sport and not entertainment.
Yeah.
And what he puts his body through, clearly it is more sport to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could go through loads of matches, but I'm going to just reel off a couple. First is Takahashi at Dominion 2018. That's definitely one where you look and you worry about his neck and his head. That just what those two are capable of is obscene. Versus Ricochet, who is probably his closest comparison in wrestling. That match is a lot of back and
fun.
forth, and they're
that
matching
was
each
my
other.
first introduction to Will Ospreay.
Yeah, amazing.
Right.
And then another one, there was, I think this was this year, it might have been last year, but it was versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Rev Pro Global Wars. And that was where I sort of saw him doing everything. It wasn't just the flying, it was he can do everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a really great wrestler.
Yeah. I think what we've realised is when we were prepping for this is that this top 10, and particularly now when we get into the top 5, we could easily do a separate whole podcast about each of them. So, unfortunately we don't have time for that. So
that's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting, yeah. Next up, number 5, before we have a little break before the top 4, at number 5 is... Kota Ibushi.
The underrated madman.
Yeah, Sam, tell us about Kota. Why he's at number 5.
Kota Ibushi is an incredible talent in wrestling. He is easily one of my favourite wrestlers ever, to be honest. Can put on one of the most insane matches you'll ever see with flips and jumps and just general flippy shit, as we've said. But one of the most hard-hitting wrestlers you'll see as well, with a lot of innovative moves which do make you cringe a lot. I'm talking about some top rope pile drivers with Naito.
Yeah. God, that was amazing.
Just wow. The thing is with Kota Ibushi, he's a dark horse in that he comes across a bit quiet, but he's got a mental streak where he will jump off a barricade from 20 foot in the air or appear in a film called Kaiju Mono with Minoru Suzuki fighting giant monsters. He's had a series of incredible matches with Omega coming up through him through the ranks. Put on one of my favourite matches ever against a human doll, Yoshihiko, which I would genuinely recommend checking out, just to watch a man wrestle a doll for 10 minutes and it be more entertaining than most Baron Corbin matches.
Yes.
He's still to come in our top 5 though, Baron Corbin, so let's be careful.
He is, yeah.
You shouldn't have mentioned him yet.
If you want to check out some amazing Kota Ibushi matches, you don't need to look far. Just check out this year's G1 Climax. His block final with Kenny Omega is a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Topped only with the G1 Climax final against Tanahashi, which just had a bit of everything. Just an amazing wrestler. I find it hard to even talk about how great I think he is. And from everything
emotional?
in New Japan, I am getting a bit emotional. Everything in New Japan to even his appearance in the Cruiserweight Classic. Fantastic.
That was my first sort of exposure to him, and that made me want to know more. And the more I learned, the more I fell in love with him. God, the matches outside of the Cruiserweight Classic, some of those New Japan matches are so brutal. His match with Naito, when was that? Was that at the
that was the
G1?
I think that was the G1 Climax.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
Let
great
alone
guy.
all his bonkers DDT stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loves a firework.
I've never seen any more crazy, bonkers, out there video clips of one wrestler.
Ibushi is a genuine lunatic.
Which is just so much fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Well done, Kota Ibushi at number 5. Okay, so now we're going to do our final 4, and as there are 4 of us, we've split them between us, and we're going to introduce them a little bit differently, and we're going to do that after this short break.
Oh, wait a minute. No, Daniel Bryan's got Big Cass set up here on the apron. Hardest part of the ring. Oh man. My goodness.
We are back, and it is nearly the conclusion to our top 50 favourite wrestlers because there are only 4 left. Ooh. And the most ridiculous thing about that is when I said 4 just then, I held up 3 fingers. Okay, 4. Feeling good.
All from different countries.
All from different countries. That is amazing. And we're going to introduce them slightly differently. And you may hear some music beginning. And this is the music for wrestler number 4. It is. It's pretty obvious from that first bit of music. It's Matt Riddle.
Hey.
It's Matt Riddle.
Bro. I mean, what
Bro.
can you say about the King of Bros? One of the most beloved wrestlers in all the world, despite the fact he's been wrestling for less than 4 years.
Yeah, oh God.
He made his debut in 2015, February. It's mental. He's endeared himself with wrestling fans by always smiling, being approachable, happy to talk to people, and putting on some absolute killer matches. He combines great grappling, incredible strikes, amazing power, and some of the tightest shorts you'll ever see.
Don't.
He's a massive stoner with killer abs. What's not to like? Has potential to be a massive hit on NXT and maybe the main roster if you can, quieten down his personal habits a little bit.
He's going to retire Brock. That's his dream, and I want it to happen.
That feels kind of likely, doesn't it? It's potential.
Yeah,
it could.
I think that's quite a big shout.
When I first started getting into sort of indie wrestling, he was the wrestler I was most excited about. just from like reading reports and stuff about him. He sounded so cool, and
Yeah,
I love his style. I just think he's so cool.
he's got the look. The look is amazing, and he's one of the first. When I got back into wrestling, he's one of the first guys who I realised never has a bad match.
Yes,
Never has a bad match.
Yeah, I mean, he had some amazing matches with Keith Lee at PWG and Evolve. Some of them were on YouTube. I don't think they are anymore, but worth checking out. Versus Jeff Cobb as well at Progress. Super Strong Style 16 is an amazing match.
Classic.
And there's a free match actually against Will Ospreay by OTT at Scrapplemania, which is on YouTube, which is worth watching.
I watched that today. I saw that you were going to link to that, and I watched that today, and it was brilliant. But I must say, Ospreay came across as absolutely phenomenal in that match, but as did Riddle. Back to Riddle.
Yeah, that's it. Fun fact, he was standing right next to me during the Keith Lee Ishii match at Rev Pro.
Nice. Yeah.
And of course, we should give a shout that we saw him down at Riptide, didn't we, in that match with Keith Lee
Lee
and Jimmy Havoc, the tables
match, which still has one of the funniest spots I've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah,
totally.
Okay,
Amazing.
Very good. Matt Riddle, number 4. Number 3, here comes his music, featured highly in our top 5 entrance themes. It is, of course, it's Aleister Black.
Brett. We could never be equal. Yes. Aleister Black. I mean, obviously, WWE have told us plenty of times he trained in kickboxing and Indonesian martial arts, competing as young as 9, apparently. Wow. Before turning to wrestling. He's had a lot of success on the indie scene in WXW, winning multiple championships and tournaments, and obviously fans of Progress will know him as Tommy End. I also found out that apparently when he was on the Colt Cabana podcast, he revealed that his father grew up in a religious cult, and apparently he's credited to his inspiration for a lot of the dark and occult-driven personas.
Yes.
Wow,
He's a fascinating
Did not
man.
know that.
Yeah, which is amazing. But so, Aleister Black, like I saw a little of him in Progress, and obviously in that NXT UK show against Neville Pack. He looked great there, but since he's been in NXT, like every match has been solid, every match has been great. He's very much in the striking mold, but again, like so many combinations. So those knees, they rival Kenny Omega, I think, for hitting a great knee. It's the way he also evades moves, as quick as he like hits people. It's like the moving out of the way, the sequences that he pulls off are just great. I'm just going to talk about 2 matches quickly that you must watch. One, Almas, which John mentioned earlier, versus Black at TakeOver in New Orleans. That was just amazing. And Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano at War Games that just happened. But again, like, I mentioned earlier against Velveteen Dream, like he's just had really entertaining matches.
A fantastic wrestler. I think kind of my favourite thing about Aleister Black is he is the one wrestler who is kind of stoic and charismatic at the same time. He doesn't say a lot, but my God, what he does say you want to listen to. He's so engaging. And playing that stoic wrestler is so difficult because it's very easy to be charismatic and likable.
Is it?
Yeah.
In wrestling.
Oh, okay.
But again, he's so cool as well, isn't he? Like,
just
he's supremely cool.
He's legit, isn't he? He's just 100% legit in everything that he does.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his tattoos. It's clear, like, none of this is a gimmick. It is him.
No.
I love his tattoos. He makes him look so cool.
Yeah. I mean, his springboard moonsaults he does.
Yeah.
Like, the Black Mass just,
An
always looks so
amazing
great.
wrestler. Yes.
It looks so great.
Yeah. And at number 3, a worthy number 3.
Good use of the word worthy. Like it.
Thanks,
And
mate.
number 3.
Yeah. Okay, number 2. It's my turn to talk about a wrestler. Here comes his music. And now you know it's Pete Dunne. And I'm going to talk about him. Pete Dunne. I mean, what can we say?
Pete Dunne.
Probably an early favourite for all of us to potentially top this list. Probably the highest ranked British wrestler at the moment. Okay, we did talk about Ospreay. He's definitely the highest ranked British wrestler in this list.
Yeah. Well, spoilers.
Oh, well, Sam revealed it was 4 different nationalities. So
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
Someone again who never has a bad match, and again somebody who's happy working comedy matches in a community centre down in Brighton, getting involved with Sam Andrews for little spots.
You know, when you need a tag team partner, buddy.
Yeah. He's happy doing that, and then he's happy having 5-star classics at takeovers. And he's a guy who we've watched work his arse off to get where he is today. And the fact that, you know, we've heard about him paying for himself to travel across the world, looking for opportunities, trying to train at different training camps and things. He co-founded Attack Pro Wrestling with Jim Lee. Is another thing that he did to, you know, try and give opportunities to others. Obviously, I think a big thing that I really appreciate about him is his gimmick, his bruiserweight gimmick, something that he came up with himself.
So good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And bruiserweight, what a brilliant name! It's amazing that nobody came up with that before. And
It seems very British, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really works. It really works, and people love it. And the Americans have latched onto it. And the fact that they kept it in WWE is always a big testament to the indie guys. There was no need to repackage him. He's come out with exactly the same ring gear. He's come out with the same, you know, everything that he was doing on the indies before, he's doing now in WWE. Obviously, they rate him, given the fact that he's had all that involvement in really big NXT storylines, and the fact that he's been NXT UK champion for over 550 days now.
Longest reigning WWE champion in the modern era.
Yeah. I mean, we could say that maybe it's, you know, slightly because they didn't really know what they were doing with the UK brand at that time, and maybe there wasn't really any credible contender as big as him. But, you know, it's not his fault. He's so damn good. He's won titles across the UK and in Ireland and in Canada. He's currently the Destiny champ. He's technically strong. He can wear opponents down. He does the joint manipulation. He can do everything. And he's just amazing.
He makes it all look so painful, and he's a great heel and a fantastic face.
Yeah.
He's good. He is very, very good.
He is brilliant. Pete Dunne. Brett, tell me one thing you think about Pete Dunne. I don't want to move on yet.
Tell me one thing I think about Pete Dunne.
Tell me.
I mean, you've said it all.
Okay.
One thing I did love about Pete Dunne is, you know, the connection to British Strong Style. And they like, when I first saw him, like, was their Peaky Blinders look.
Yeah.
Like, they looked the coolest guys. Like, it was just awesome. And with them being Brummies and stuff, it worked.
Yeah.
I have to say as
Totally.
well, his match against Tyler Bate, was it TakeOver Chicago?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
I had tears in my eyes with that match. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, actually, I needed to talk about the matches I was going to recommend, and obviously that match is up there. Probably one of my favourite ever matches, really, in terms of the drama and the pride. We've talked about this before. When we've seen the UK people go and perform in front of international crowds, you get that weird feeling of pride, even though you've had absolutely nothing to do with it. I love the matches that British Strong Style had with the Undisputed Era at the second UK Championship tournament at the Royal Albert Hall. They were great matches, and he was a big part of that. Obviously, the War Games match we've just seen, he did brilliantly, and he was nursing an injury going into that, apparently. 2016 Super Strong Style had an amazing match with Mark Haskins. He's wrestled Ishii at Rev Pro Global Wars 2016, which was an amazing match as well. And then a match I haven't seen, but I need to dig out, was I was about to say Final Cut Pro, because I've done FCP. Oh dear. Was the Fight Club Pro match against Maiko Satomura. Somebody who he has said is one of his absolute heroes in wrestling.
That is a match I want to watch.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, he doesn't have a bad match, so...
I mean, you can take a bit of time as well just to say how great his tag team with Millie McKenzie is as well.
Yeah, that's so fun. Some of the photos from that are amazing.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing.
That is it then. That is 50 all the way down to 2, which means there's only one.
Who is it?
Left.
Who's the last
I
one?
think
Who's
the
best
entire
wrestler in the
world
world?
knows who the best wrestler, who our favourite wrestler is.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
I mean, it could be argued that he is also the best in the world. His music begins now. It's Kenny Omega, and Sam gets to talk about him.
Oh boy, he is the best bout machine. If you want a wrestler who represents this generation of wrestling and just kind of putting on matches which constantly break a 5-star rating, like just routinely now, someone who will put on some of the funniest matches you'll ever watch, some of the best matches you'll ever watch, some of the most hard-hitting, brutal knees, and not to mention he's pretty decent at Street Fighter. Look no further than Kenny Omega. His matches have literally blown my mind when it comes to wrestling. You can't talk about him as well without talking about the Okada trilogy. I mean, technically a quadrilogy, but, you know, a trilogy really. Wrestle Kingdom 11, Dominion 2017, Dominion 2018. Those 3 matches are, as far as I go, like perfect wrestling.
Yeah.
They are
First
mad.
one changed the way I saw wrestling.
For me, it was the second one. The 60-minute draw was just... was it 30-minute draw? It was amazing. It was
60.
60-minute draw. Yeah. What an ending to a match. And then Dominion, I was lucky enough to be there and watch that live, and honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to see a better wrestling match in my life. I could not believe how good it was. But the thing with Omega as well, you know what? The dude can talk. He is a promo machine. So good at just being kind of tapping into that retro cringy sort of geeky but still pretty good promo style. He will I'm in love. If you want to watch some amazing stuff as well, you can watch him wrestle a 9-year-old girl.
Those are, I don't know if you want to be recommended watching those. That's a bit weird.
It's funny as hell, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good.
She's consenting. She's having a good time. She enjoys it, that 9-year-old girl. It's not like he's just plucked one out of the crowd and is just hitting her.
Yeah, who would do that? WWE.
Yeah, it's all in good humour.
I put this in there because honestly, like, the dude can wrestle. He is funny and he is serious, and you can watch his matches with Yano if you want good comedy. You can watch an amazing clip of him and Daniel Bryan doing an entire Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt bit, which I would recommend any wrestling fan should go and watch just because it's hilarious.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, go and watch him wrestle Okada. Go and watch him wrestle Ibushi. Go and watch him wrestle Ishii. He is the best bout machine.
Yeah. A phenomenal wrestler. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens at Wrestle Kingdom, because I think it's Tanahashi, the great Tanahashi. And obviously, if he beats Tanahashi and retains the belt, it does feel like, okay, we're sticking. Kenny's our guy now.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm not sure they will.
You think they're going to get back to Tanahashi one last time?
I think maybe. But I am expecting that match to be an absolute barnstormer because this dude is just a great wrestler. Tanahashi, he's always going to put on a good match. So, yeah, absolutely love Kenny Omega. I'm so happy he's made the top of our list.
Number 1. Well done, Kenny.
Well done, Kenny. Congratulations.
Yeah. You win another list.
Fruit hamper will be in the post.
Yeah, well deserved. And that's it. But, well, I've just got to say, interestingly, Kenny Omega actually didn't top any of our lists. We didn't point out the fact that, you know, we talked about John. He went for Becky Lynch as number 1. Brett went for Mark Haskins. But what we didn't point out is that, Sam, you went for...
I went for Aleister Black.
And I, Adam, went for Pete Dunne. But Kenny Omega was in all of our top 10s. I think it was in all of our top 5s. Or not quite in Brett's, but he featured so highly and he was so consistent that the scoring meant that he was number 1. And I don't think any of us really have a huge problem with that.
Nope, not at all.
No.
And if you do have a problem, you'll answer to Kenny Omega. Yeah, so congratulations to Kenny and congratulations to every single wrestler that made the list. I'm sure it's a huge deal for you. And after this short break, we're going to find out who the listeners have included in their top 10.
Watch the way. Boom! Finn lands face first on the apron, the hardest part of the ring.
So we asked the listeners to get in touch on Twitter with their top 10 favourite wrestlers, and we have collated them and we've worked out the ultimate listener top 10. John is going to give us that top 10 now. How different is it from us?
I just want to say it's been amazing doing this listener top 10. Like, it's changed so much. It's been the most exciting part of doing this episode.
It's
fantastic.
been amazing. Thank you all so much for submitting lists as well.
Yeah, we got loads, didn't we? And we got a huge range of different wrestlers, but there were a lot of common ones that we're going to hear about now.
I can actually give one quick stat, which is we had 100 different wrestlers.
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
Okay,
Crazy.
so number 10, Aleister Black. 9, Johnny Gargano. 8, Tommaso Ciampa. 7, Velveteen Dream. 6, Chris Jericho. 5, Pete Dunne. 4, Volta. 3, Zack Sabre Jr.
Wow.
2, Becky Lynch. And number 1, Kenny Omega.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
The listeners know their stuff as well. Nice to see Becky getting number 2.
Can we just point out as well, Kenny and Becky tied on points. It was just a different amount of votes they got, which put Kenny 1 point ahead of Becky.
Oh, wow. Would it be nice for Becky to
Amazing.
have won that one? But yeah, great that she came second. That's really interesting. A great
Strong
list.
list.
What
Very
a list of 10
The
wrestlers.
biggest thing, obviously, that's very similar to ours, except for Chris Jericho and Gargano and Ciampa, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sabre Jr. being so high as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, listeners. Thank you so much for getting involved in that. It was a lot of fun, as John said. Now we're going to change direction a little bit, and we're going to talk about our biggest giveaway ever. You may remember, people who listen to the early pods, that we used to do semi-regular giveaways. We used to give away some of the original art that Brett did, or some other stuff that we had lying around. We haven't done it for a while, but as it's episode 50, we're going to do one, and it's bloody brilliant because there's loads of swag to be won. Brett, before I tell everybody how to enter, can you tell them what they could possibly win?
We've got a WWE Boogeyman figure. We've got a WWE Mighty Mini Blind Bag. We've got a David Starr PWG Bowler card from 2018. We've got a David Starr sticker. We've got loads of WWE Rivals sticker packs. We've got some top Slam Attacks cards. We've got 10 classic 91 trading cards. We've got Golden Era screen print by myself. We've got some Pro Wrestling Cards zine by myself again. We've got a Shake magazine issue number 5, which is a wrestling issue featuring 63 illustrators
Nice.
drawing your favourite wrestlers throughout. We've got a Hardest Part of the Ring sticker and badge pack. We've got a Hardest Part of the Ring t-shirt.
Oh, yes.
And Patrick Sparrow Kane enamel pin. He's another great illustrator. And we'll throw in some original pod art as well.
Shit me.
Loads of
There's a lot.
stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot.
That is
I was
a
about
lot
to say
of
a
stuff.
lot of crap, and I was like, no, let's not call our stuff crap anymore.
No, Brett did that last week, yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's a bad trend.
And Brett, is that all one prize?
No, well, that's most of that, nearly all of that. Well, all of that will be in one prize, and then there will be a few little runner-up packs.
Yeah. Basically, we want
yeah.
to incentivize people. You know, there's going to be a couple of chances to win, but that main number one prize, wow, there's a lot in there. Hardest Part of the Ring t-shirt. We haven't given one of those away yet. They are soft as shit. Not literally shit. I haven't touched it. Quick, move on, Adam. But yeah, some really cool stuff there. And in order to win it, don't worry, it's not a quiz. You don't have to answer any questions. It's just the classic social media
we don't
giveaway.
know the answers.
Exactly. So this is what you need to do. We're going to do a tweet about this tomorrow, and we're going to do an Instagram post about this tomorrow with a photo of all the amazing swag. On Twitter, you need to make sure you're following us. You need to like that tweet, and you need to retweet it, and you will have entered yourself into the competition. On Instagram, you need to like that post, and you need to tag a friend. Classic Instagram competition. Everybody who does those things will be entered into the prize draw. If you do it on Instagram and Twitter, you'll be entered twice, so you get double chance. And in a couple of weeks, probably the last podcast of the year, which will be the Table Ladders and Chair pay-per-view, we will announce the winner. And then you get all that stuff just before Christmas, and you can give it to your family. I'm sure your granddad would love a David Starr bowler trading card.
And we're going to call this Hot Tag. No? No, don't worry. I saw the tag on Instagram. I saw a pun. It's fine. Let's move on.
Oh,
You need to share these ideas with the group before you air them on the pod.
Sorry.
oh dear, what a sorry way to end.
Whoops.
Oh well, should we just call it a day at 50 episodes?
50 was one pun
done.
too many.
Yes. No, what we should do is tell people how to find our social media. Brett, what is it?
So if people want to let us know what they think of our top 50 and how stupid we are for not including their favourite wrestler, they can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or they can send us a tweet or an Instagram message or a Facebook message. We are at Hardest Part Pod, and they can check out our shop, which is hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Fantastic. And what better time than now to visit the shop and send some money our way to say thank you for 50 passable podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, in all seriousness, thanks to everybody who listens on a regular basis
thank
and
you.
gets involved on Twitter and Instagram. Please spread the word, tell your mates. Well done us, well done John and Sam in particular for getting through this with your colds.
Thanks.
And we will be back next week when we're doing our winter quiz. It's already that time. It's the end of year quiz.
You must be so excited right now, Adam.
Soon.
Mate, I'm so excited. There's been so much prep and so much spreadsheet work just for this episode alone. I've got loads more for next week.
We start with spreadsheets, we end with spreadsheets.
Yes, we go again. Thank you very much, everybody. And thanks to you three for being great pod pals.
Oh, thanks to you, Adam, for being a great host.
Yeah. And
Okay.
thank you again to the listeners, because we love doing this, and a lot of it is to do with the listeners. It's all to do with the listeners.
It's like we're retiring or being inducted into the Podcast Hall of Fame.
Well, actually, that's funny, because we are actually retiring Brett at the end of this one.
So sorry, Brett. Let's end it.
I mean, guys, come on.
Goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye, John.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye, Brett.
Yeah, do one.
That was the 50th episode of Hardest Part of the Ring.
And stop. Oh, should I press record?
That is the hardest